Mm. Ah, nice little Kit Kat. Welcome back. I have no idea if anyone is actually going to watch because it is sort of a normal weekday. But this is my first week of 3 weeks of vacation. And after almost an entire week playing different games, mostly Minecraft, I think I finally found my 2024 game of my vacation, and that's gonna be Final Fantasy VIII. As a kid, I got the game on PS1, played it once. I didn't understand the whole junction system. I never beat the game. To me, the game was brutally difficult because my characters were absolutely underdeveloped, even though they were level 99. I didn't understand how it worked. And I had an extremely bad time trying to play through this game, even though I loved every aspect of the game. As a kid, I just didn't understand why the game was so fucking hard. And now I'm replaying the game, I understand, I'm learning how the game works, and it is much easier, to be really honest. I've already had 2 battles in the beginning in Bullet Town, where I'm like, oh no, not this boss, and I beat him pretty quickly. And then you get the robot that chases you, and I was like, oh no, not that robot. You know, I was stuck in that part so long, and I just breezed through it. So knowing how the junction system works is a must if you want to play this game. Bum, bum, bum. I actually listen to Final Fantasy music a lot, and Final Fantasy VIII soundtrack is so good. Level up, fools. So I'll just do the doing it faster when there's battles. Nothing else. Where do I have to go? You have to go here. Oh. I got a potion thing. Where do I have to... oh, I have to go there. Ah. Ah, yes, now I understand. I remember. That sounds really weird. Oh, child abuse! Oh, can I heal? The Zagas, oh nice. Ah, see, this one was better. A few moments later. Big mistake, fool. I want that magazine over there. Get out! I want the magazine. Where's it? Over here? Ah, here. Look, I have to go here. That's very strange. All right. least I get potions. Oh, I can go here too. Ah. You again, fools. Oh no. No thanks, fool. Let's go get him! Game over. A bull card, okay. Hello? Now what can I get here? Same stuff. Oh, you have one Phoenix Zone? Really? I thought I had more. Yeah, fools. Why can't I Ah, thank you. I'm a poor guy. Indeed. Move aside, fool. Off to another boss battle. This is creepy, what is it? Storm the place. For Noah. Vincent Dealing. idea. The sexy biatch. Oh, Cipher. It's none of her business. Squat leader. Yes, give me the money. Yeah, poor boy. Run, you fools! Bum. It's completely destroyed. What did I do? Oh. No. This is an order! Ooh. Why can't Selfie? Oh, of course, Selfie doesn't have the. Can I switch crystals? For I can. Goodbye, Selfie. Oh, I can't. Oh, you cannot switch members. Okay, whatever. Let's see what happens. What are you waiting for, Squall? Let's go. This way, fool. Let's stay here for a while. Stay a while and listen. Upstairs, hurry, fool. Cipher or Cipher. You're terrible. Very true. Persistent little soldiers. Bum, 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 ba-dum, ba-dum, bum, 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 ba-dum, da-dum, dum, dum. Noah. We have to get out of here first. The party will be, I think on my original playthrough I played Zell, Squall and Renoa, so I do want to sort of change it up a little bit, even though I don't really like Selfie, so I'm going with Quistis. I think I'm gonna keep Zell in my party though. Well, thank you very much. Now I just need to she doesn't have anyone. Shifa, yes. The magic. Ability. Of course, draw. And less magic or items. I'm more of an item user than really a magic user, so I'm going with that. What are the other ones? We got no. Item. Also item, so nobody's actually using magic. Okay. on, take it. No, get going, fool. Why can't I go there? Ah, that's the last train. Get on, fool! Oops. Train announcement. He's into naughty magazines like Master Rochi. Oh man, I'm bumped out. Can't you get? Can I go here? Oh no. No time to rest. Ah, leave him alone. Leave him alone, just leave him alone. I always loved that, even as a kid, that the world felt more alive than the world of Final Fantasy VII. So I think you can also rent cars or buy a car or something like that. That was pretty cool. I like that. New enemies. Float. Heating water. Ah, Ifrit learned Okay, so now if I am more correctly, yeah. So this is the whole part that as a kid I really struggled to understand, that you now have to junction magic onto the HP or you will not get extra HP. So, junction. Of course, cure gives you a shit ton of points. I wonder, does the other ones have... Okay, no. Ability. We already got strength up. So, Ifrit, let's see which one he's going to learn now. I want to learn Elemental Defense. Refine Fire Magic from an item. Oh yeah, there was also a part where you could convert these items and cards for very special items. Use card command. Well, I want to first learn everything that you can sort of junction, so you can level up your character. Wait, how are you laughing, fool? I think that's... Yeah, that's timber. He's laughing. A 100 kills! Yay! Got a trophy. Oh, wait up. Was there something here? I think there was. Oh, that's Dalit or whatever. Yeah, I think it's called Dalit. Dalit Town. Yeah. Oh, he gets more XP, right? Yeah. Where do I have to go? Oh. Do I have to go here? I'm not entirely sure. Yeah, see now I have more HP because I had I drawn that. Ah! Took a little bit longer than I wanted. Wait, what? Ultimate power! Thunder. Ah, so he... Ah, wow. Very nice, fool. Didn't I also get something? Oh my god. Bum, bum, bum. Okay, so now we have the junction, ability, vitality extra. It also has extra vitality. Oh, and she also has magic junction on strength. Fine. Very cool. Ah, and he has Vitality. Junction on Magic. Oh, actually, oh wait, it does. Cure. Okay. Alright, alright. So where's the forest? Ah. So I have to keep going that way. Oh, wait up. I have to make sure that the GFs are learning the right skills, because I want okay. Find hidden, save, draw items. Okay. Annihilate. Hey, the card. Yay. Am I walking the right way? I think I am. There's the garden. Ah, is that the forest? Oh, seems it is. Such a great leader. Ah, I got another flashback. Die. I think they went to the dream world. Hello, Haynes, Haynes. How you doing? Why don't you give? So weird. Let's go. Who knows? Who cares? Oh, really? That bad? Well, the junction system is definitely one of the sort of most hated upgrade system of the Final Fantasy franchise, I guess. No, well, of course, a lot of people really like Final Fantasy VIII, but I don't think many people like 8 more than, you know, 9 or 10 or 12 or 6, 7. Same for me though. Same for me. I want to replay Final Fantasy XII Zodiac Age because when I got it on the PS2 I kinda rushed through the game. Better make a run for it. Now that I actually listen to it. Isn't this a song from Final Fantasy VII? Oh no, it's not. But it kind of has these Final Fantasy VII tunes in it. Weird. Yeah, it really reminds me of Final Fantasy VII. Oh, you platinum. Final Fantasy X is also one of those games on PS4 that I started. I was pretty far though. I was at Mount Gegazet. But I played Final Fantasy X so many times. It's still a great game. I never really got everything. I actually, to be really honest, I never get anything out of any game I've ever played. I never completed a game to 100%. You know, even, for example, on Final Fantasy VII, I think I never got the golden chocobo. Because to me, it was such a hassle to make the golden chocobo. So I never got stuff like Knights of the Round or anything like that. But I also have a playthrough for Final Fantasy VII on the PS4, so maybe that playthrough I will get the golden chocobo. Pick it up, fool. Ah, magic. Oh, really? Because aren't like CRTVs, don't they have like a extreme low MS? Like even modern TVs at this very moment don't have such a low MS than a CRTV. That's why it's kind of like, I won't say like a lost technology, but it is kind of like a technology that doesn't really exist anymore, and in certain ways is better than the stuff that we have right now. I mean, isn't it, at least to me, yeah, lag. To me, it is really weird, almost unthinkable of why nobody, absolutely nobody, can make original old hardware look good on a modern television. There are televisions that cost like 3,000 or 4,000 euros or dollars, and when you hook up a PS1, there is nothing, no HD converter, no company, nobody who can make these games look good on an old television. You need to have, you know, a beefy PC, and you can have all the stats and all the mods, and then finally you can make games look really good. But just how difficult is it to make a scaler or an HDMI converter and just plug it in and boom, you have you know, a nice, perfect looking one-on-one CRT to new television. How difficult is it? Well, it seems to be extremely difficult, and even after all those damn years, they still haven't perfected it. So, CRTVs, you know, are old school, but they were kind of like technology that was better than this, in a certain way, if you know what I'm trying to say. Yeah. Yeah, video was very hard, and I understand how a CRT works with two screens basically flashing, you know, and that's why it's very difficult to create. Because if you play, just plug in your PS1 to a television, you'll see these really weird, blurry graphics. That's because modern televisions don't work with the two screens flashing and something like that. Yeah. It's a shame though. It's a shame though. I have researched. You know, I'm an idiot. I'm not very smart at all, actually. But I'm not smart enough to understand what it is. But I have researched some sort of box. It's like a big chip. It's like a converter, something like that. And you have to only do a couple of sort of changes between the converter and your console and television, and it sort of clears the image out. And from what I have read, it's not bad. You know, it makes an image look pretty good, but it's still not perfect. Up, fool, up. Yes, a scan converter. You use it at work. Oh, you work at a game store? Would be pretty cool. One of my childhood dreams was working at a game store. And I actually filed, how do you say it? That you want to work at a game store? I put in the papers, whatever. And they were like, no, you're not qualified to work here. And I was actually pretty, it was a game store that I went almost every week. And I was pretty angry. I was pretty angry. I think it was a woman that runs this game store, and I was basically yelling at her like I know more about video games than, you know, all of your employees and stuff, and what the hell's going on. But she basically, you know, said your language isn't perfect, so she kind of said I'm stupid. To be really honest, that's kind of what she was saying. You're too stupid to work here. And maybe she was right. Micro LED. I work for a display company. Oh. Cool. Yes, scan. I saw a scan converter. I think it was like 220 or 240. And I still want to get one. I do. But you know, I read that these are pretty difficult to sort of. You have to know what you're doing. And of course, you can learn everything. I mean, I have learned how to, you know, replay cooling pasta and fix these little batteries on consoles and clean them out, and that's something that as a kid I was very scared to do. So everything can be learned. Oh man, that's okay. Micro LED, okay, pretty cool. Oh. Doesn't he have to do something like, hey, what's... Samsung the wall? No, not really, to be honest. The wall. Let me Google it 2 seconds. Wait up. Ah, so the wall is basically a super sharp television? Okay, cool. I don't really sort of follow electronics like televisions, audio, telephones. You know, I don't really follow those. So every few years I buy basically a new television and I just check out what I think is good and that's it. Without any bezels. I don't know what bezels means, but okay. I wonder what I have to do here though. No, not up. Does it have... Ah. I mean, now that I actually think about it, companies like Square Enix or whatever, they can clearly make old games look sharp on a modern television. Even though, okay, sure, they probably sort of done something with the code, and that's why it's called a remaster remake, but it is possible. It is possible, so... Maybe one day. Maybe one day. I do have a really cheap PS2 to HDMI. It's super cheap. I think it's cost like $10, and it's pretty good. It's not bad. I mean, you still see like it's a little bit pixelated, a little bit, and sometimes the image is a little bit too dark. Sometimes, but it's good. It's not really bad. And I have one for the Xbox, an HDMI dongle. That one was $40, and it's not bad, but you see green, red, and yellow lines, if you know what I mean. So when you basically look at the television, like really look at it, not just randomly, but if you really like look at the television, you're like, hey, I see lines between my screen. So, but the image itself is really clear, because I played a lot of Dead or Alive 2 Ultimate on Xbox with the HD dongle converter, whatever. And it plays nice, but you do see all these lines. It's really annoying. No, I have not seen the Final Fantasy IX remake, but man, I think, and it's my personal opinion, I think that if Square Enix just made Final Fantasy VII exactly as it was, but just made it look good, kind of like this, But just make it, in my opinion though, the characters look really good. They should have made the backgrounds also sharper and better. If that's the only thing Square Enix should have done with Final Fantasy VII Remake, not only would they have a complete game, they could have changed a few storyline issues, they could have added more content to the original game, make it look good, but still exactly the same game. I think that fans in general would have preferred that over what the fuck they're doing now. And there are rumors of a Final Fantasy IX remake, and I'm just, you know, Final Fantasy VII remake was really good, really got me excited. I think they have nailed it at how they should have made Final Fantasy VII remake. And even though Final Fantasy Rebirth isn't bad by any means, it has a lot of fluff, right? It has a lot of, it probably has like 10 or 20 hours of bullshit that should not have been in the game. And especially using the Ubisoft style open world, it bored me out quickly. Sadly though, because the game of course looks really good and stuff. And now that we know that the game was underperforming, it wasn't selling well, you know, they kind of made the wrong decision in making Final Fantasy the way they wanted to do. I will check it out. Couldn't find any items. Okay, go above. Aha. Okay, I didn't know that. Yeah, so now I haven't beaten Rebirth yet. I don't know what the ending is. I haven't seen the ending, and lucky I haven't seen anyone spoil the ending. But I have a hunch that Aerith is not going to die, because that is basically sort of what they have done with the end of Final Fantasy VII Remake, of, you know, you're killing fate and stuff, and now, you know, there's another tale to be told, there's another reality being made. You know, come on, I mean, let's be really honest. Aerith dying in Final Fantasy VII is a sort of shocking moment. It's a really big part of the game. If they throw it out, then I'm really curious of how they're going to progress. But maybe I'm completely wrong. Maybe Aerith dies and they're just changing other stuff. Yes, because that's also, no, I won't say that Zack dying is a large part of Final Fantasy VII, but then again, if Zack doesn't die, Claude doesn't take the identity of Zack and his sword, so how the hell is he still the same guy? It's really weird. Huh. I told you it was not a powerful. What changed though? Ah, okay, so you have to go. Aha. Okay, Phoenix down. Yay. Oh, wait. I know in the... because I played this game when I was a kid. I know there is a space station. And I'm not entirely sure if there's like an alien or something, but I don't really remember quite clearly like what the hell all this is. I do know that you, at the end of the game, you get this really cool sort of dragon-style airship. That was really cool. That was really cool. Ooh. I can only imagine, because now that all the graphics are very sharp, you can sort of really clearly see how enemies and characters should have looked like, right? I can only imagine how amazing a lot of PS1 and PS2 Xbox GameCube graphics look like if they would be, you know, made sharper and then play it on a modern screen. Oh, really? See the grid. Well, of course I played Final Fantasy VII on the CRTV, but oh, you mean the block grids, how they created the level. Ah, okay. No, what am I doing? Ah, okay, that's pretty cool. I have sort of a widescreen CRTV in my living room, so I mostly play older games on that system. It kind of depends, because most of the time when I at least play a new PS2 game, I first try it on my PS3, because I have a backwards compatible system. Still my launch PS3, still is working perfectly fine. And if I find that graphically it looks good enough, then I'll just play it on PS3. You know, I'm playing Grimson Tears, you know, on the PS3, etc., etc. Grandia 2 looks pretty good, so I played on the PS3. Kingsfield I played on the PS3. But there are certain games that not only does not work, I think that Tekken Tech doesn't work on the PS3, 60GB, or it doesn't look good enough, then I'll like play it on the CRT. But even the CRT screen isn't perfect. What am I doing? Oh yes, I'm saving. Wait up. Are those the how do you call it, Triniton? These are so expensive. Even like a normal Triniton TV, like a small one, they go for around like 70-80 bucks. They're pretty expensive, but I have heard that's one of the... You have a really tiny one, like a really tiny square Sony Triniton, and that can cost like hundreds. Crazy. I just have, I don't know which one. Oh, I have a Philips. I got a Philips Matchline, but it's like the Philips Matchline is like between CRT and HD, so it has a mode where you sort of have like a Pixel Plus mode, and it doesn't look bad, but it's like it doesn't look perfect either, right? And I have a unknown company CRTV, a very small one, and that is by far the sharpest. That looks really good, very sharp. But the screen is tilted to the left, and there's a how would you say it, like a mark, or more like a scratch on the screen. So every time, so not only is that screen smaller and it's being pushed to the left, you also the entire time see this pretty big scar that I actually, because I dropped the stupid thing, I dropped it a couple of years ago. It's my fault that the scar is there. But actually I've been playing, what's the game called? Rumble Roses on the television. That game looks really good, and it's a fun game. Halo is also another game franchise that I really should check out, because even though I have played Halo 2, and I think I was pretty far in Halo 2, I was in the sort of giant space city of of an alien force, the Covenant, I think. And I was at the point where the Flood, is it called the Flood? I think it was the Flood. They were sort of taking over that space station. And I was at that point, so I think I was pretty far. Yeah, sometimes it happens. I already saw it. Yeah, sometimes it happens. Who is curious? Ah, the guy is curious, okay. Yeah. You know, also, I'm not entirely sure how long you've been, if you are even subscribed to my channel, but for many years, and this has nothing to do with Microsoft or Halo itself. I mean, Nintendo is the only one who could actually do it, but pumping out a game every year or every 2 years, people are going to be burned out. It doesn't matter which game, people are going to be burned out. And that's my personal opinion, especially on shooters. If you get a Halo every year, and there was a time where on the 360 and stuff, you just get Halo, Forza, Fable, you know, every year, Halo, Forza, Fable, Halo, Forza, Fable. At the end of the day, people are going to be burned out. It doesn't matter how good these games are. You're going to be burned out. There's so many of those games. And Gears, yes, Gears, I forgot, Gears of War. It's also, to be honest, a game I really tried to play. I don't understand what people really liked about Gears in terms of gameplay. I got bored pretty quickly. And the same thing goes with Uncharted 3. Uncharted 3 is a lot of fighting, right? A lot of shooting. And Uncharted 3 is a game that I will be playing one day, but I think I'll struggle because it's just so much shooting. It gets boring, right? And in that opinion, Uncharted 4 and 2 done a way better job at exploring, doing puzzles and shooting. So if you have a game like Gears of War that's basically only cover shooting, cover shooting, cover shooting, how is it entertaining for like how many games? 5 games? 6 games? And to me, I really like the original Fable. I think that the premise is really cool. I don't like, though, that at a certain point, I think in Fable 2 or 3, that they were using guns, kind of like pirate stuff. I don't like that. Just stick with the medieval theme and make it bigger. But I have read that Fable 2 is the best out of the Fable games, so that's also another game on my list that I still need to play. Well, the Tomb Raider that we have now, not only am I heavily against changing already made characters, heavily against that actually, but let's be really honest, I mean the modern take of Tomb Raider is basically Uncharted in a different, you know, instead of Drake you have Lara Croft. And now I think they're changing Lara Croft again. Yeah, they rebooting it again, making her probably less female, because that is the trend in AAA Western gaming, making girls, woman, whatever, look less woman, more masculine, more men-like. Have you seen the latest trailer of Silent Hill 2? And you have characters that literally look worse than the game on PS2. You have a meme. There's a meme. It was like 48p in what was called 2001, 2002, and 4K in 2024, and the character actually looks worse than on the PS2. How is that possible? Yeah, so there's a lot of discussions that can be created, that can be done with rebooting characters, making them more female-like or more realistic, or it doesn't really matter. It kind of depends on what type of female. I mean, is Kim Kardashian realistic? She's still a real female, right? Is Brad Pitt a realistic role model of the male species? Is Kratos, a lot of times you see video games and art, and there's always going to be these woke ass stupid snowflakes crying about armor. It doesn't fit, it's not usable, it's just trying to make a sexualized character. Okay. And then you have fucking Kratos from God of War being almost naked. And nobody cares. And that's definitely, I don't look like Kratos. I think nobody in the world, almost nobody, will have the muscle like Kratos. He is in the damn forests with snow and ice, and he's half naked. And nobody cares. It's only when a woman is half naked. But of course, if you say that, you're a pervert, and I am definitely a pervert, so that's why I'm saying it. It's kind of weird. In my mind, you go to this garden like later in the game, like way later in the game. But this is kind of like the beginning of the game. All right. Oh man, I love Korean MMO designs. Koreans, they don't give a fuck. Look at Stellar Blade. They don't give a flying shit what the whole world thinks. And to be really honest, my girlfriend actually watches a lot of Koreans that travel around and eat Korean food, and a lot of these girls may look unrealistic to us, but they kind of do look like the girl from Stellar Blade. Of course not with the big boobs and booty and whatever, but I'm just saying, But of course, what the woke Western audiences want us to believe is that everybody is LGBT crap, everybody is non-binary, non-fluid, whatever the fuck they're calling themselves. 2 weeks ago, I saw a bunch of people wearing dog masks and woof woof to each other. That's not a joke. I was looking at these people and thinking, what the fuck is going on here? Well, it seems there are people around the world who identifies as a dog. Like, really? A dog? Wearing dog masks? Woof woofing to each other? Really? But I am someone who doesn't... I respect everybody, right? I don't mind. If you want to be a dog, that's alright. Don't come close to me, don't woof woof to me. But it's alright, it doesn't matter if you want to be non-binary, it doesn't matter if you are a transgender, basically pretending to be someone else, it doesn't matter. I don't mind, really, I don't. You know, but nowadays, when you walk around, you see these flags everywhere. Even on police cars, you see it everywhere. Well, at least not here, but you know what I mean. On the building from the government, you see LGBT flags, not the flag of Holland, not the flag of Europe, or let's just say a universal flag of peace. No, no, no. You see LGBT, basically people with mental illness flag. But of course, if you say that, oh, you are going to be cancelled and attacked. And I don't give a shit. I have been banned and blocked on Facebook so many times now because I say stuff. And luckily for me, I have never ever in my 37 years of life have anyone say to me, my pronouns are they them. My pronouns are this, because I don't give a shit. Yeah, it's to be honest, you know, these people, don't get me wrong, I don't see these people as they are disgusting. They're not, they're people. But trying to brainwash because only the Western world is doing this, trying to brainwash the Western world into thinking this is normal is disgusting. When, you know, a friend of mine has kids and there's going to be a transgender on school, half naked, talking about what's called like the AB gay book or something like that. Like what? Exactly. I am against all these political bullshit. And you see it in movies, right? You know, again, I don't give a fuck about if you're black, yellow, white, green. I don't really care. Even though I have been called racist many times, I honestly don't care. But this week I have read that the new Hercules movie is going to be a black guy. And I'm like, Hercules is a Greek white half god, not black. And I think there is a Netflix series that's trying to be historical, right? Historical, of the English royal house, and it has black princesses. That's absolutely impossible. No way that ever happened. No way. And again, I don't mind. Why don't they make something different? Why don't they make a series about African royalty? No, they're blackwashing everything in the political term of being diverse. No, you're not diverse. You're trying to brainwash people. Oh man, it's probably Netflix or Disney. Disney is also. Oh yeah, Cleopatra. That was actually pretty funny because Cleopatra was being played by a black woman, right? So the people of Egypt were actually pretty angry about that. Because I have seen a couple of interviews, pretty heated interviews, saying, hey, that isn't correct. She wasn't a black woman, she was a Greek in Egypt. It wasn't black, and you're blackwashing our history. So that was pretty funny. That was pretty funny. Yeah. You know, and man, I have made so many videos about this, that the gaming industry has changed, movies have changed, and not in a good way. And now we are seeing the effects. You know, Star Wars is going like full woke. If I remember correctly, the new Star Wars film or series are made by a woman that is like a feminist, and I think she made a statement like the next Star Wars is going to be different, and all the male people you know, are going to cry about it, but finally we're going to see a strong female. And I'm like, weren't there like 3 movies with Rey, a strong female, and these movies sucked? It wasn't about her being a female, she sucked. The movie sucked. And we're seeing that all over sort of Hollywood, right? And all these movies are flopping. At least from what I have read, because I don't live in Hollywood or whatever, is that for the new Mad Max film, it's flopping. The new Bad Boys movie. I'm actually going to Bad Boys next week because I do like these movies. You know, they're flopping. They're how do you say it in English? They're bombing. They're bombs. All the new Disney movies aren't really that good, and you know, the games, all these woke ass games like the newest Saints Row. Saints Row to me was always a extremely over the top, you could say super offensive GTA clone that was so much fun to play. And what did they do? They made it edgy, they made it more diverse. Hashtag woke. Hashtag it sucks. And pa-bam! That company has died too. Yeah. And I'm so happy that a game like Stellar Blade, who doesn't give a flying shit, even though I have read that they did secretly censor some parts of the game, of the outfits, but still, you know, you have like 30 outfits in the game. They added more outfits to the game with updates. You still see the jiggly boobs, you still see the jiggly booty, right? They don't care, they don't give a flying fuck, and the game's actually selling really well. Even in Japan, it's selling really well. So I'm like, yes, finally a game, and gamers are sort of grabbing it. And I hope the same thing will happen to Astro Bot, right? Now, first up, I do hope that the game is not going to be $80, because 50 is a good one. If Sony, if Astro Bot is going to be a good game, and they're gonna price it at $50, I hope it will sell extremely good to sort of make a statement towards Sony, who basically is making huge games or live service crap like Helldivers. Like, hey, there's still a lot of people who just want a really fun, no DLC, no microtransactions small game, and they're gonna pay for it. Not every... Oh, it's back. Oh, that's pretty cool. This is really weird, because I do remember this part of the game with the ice skating. But as I said, I honestly have it in my mind that this is like the half part of the game, like the last part of the game. Maybe you'll come back to this garden a few times. I don't know. Oh, I have to go to F. Okay. So, you know, a large part of why I don't buy modern games, don't play modern games is, and same with movies, is, you know, it's going into a direction, not just only political, diverse and woke, but also huge patches, DLC, microtransactions. You know, it's, in my opinion, an absolute disgrace to the gaming industry that a game like Cyberpunk was so hyped, got released in a basically unplayable state, and years later people are like, whoa, this game is so incredible, damn, one of the best games ever. Like, what? Oh man, yeah. Yep. Another marvelous attempt of blackwashing everything. In Odyssey, in Assassin's Creed Odyssey, you played a Greek guy or a Greek girl. In Assassin's Creed Origins, you played a Egyptian guy, right? That is historical, sort of, little bit correct, right? And then in Assassin's Creed Valhalla, you played a Viking, right? Sort of historical correct. I mean, if you have a Viking game, you want to play as a Viking, right? That's normal. And then you have Assassin's Creed, the new one, as new Assassin's Creed in Japan. Finally, a game in Japan, and they are basically, from what I have heard, there are 2 lines in the entire history of the old Japan where it says, you know, like a black, it doesn't really say black samurai, it says retainer. And there is a massive discussion because a retainer could be seen as a servant, as a retainer of Nobunaga Oda. They're saying he was his sword bearer, right? He basically, you know, was walking around with Nobunaga Oda's sword, a retainer, servant, not slave, but, you know, a servant of the empire of Nobunaga Oda. And he did, if these historical books are correct, he did fight one battle and he fled the battle. He fled the battle, came back and became Nobunaga Oda's retainer. He wasn't a hero. Nobody said he was a samurai, definitely not. And especially, let's be really honest, Japanese people even today are pretty racist. Really? A black samurai? Really? I mean, out of the huge amount of incredible, historical, famous Japanese characters, you pick a black samurai. In Neo, the game Neo 1 and 2, you had the ebony samurai, and he was basically the black samurai, right? That was cool. He was an NPC, he was an extra character. It is a part of the Japanese sort of history, whatever. even though there's still a lot of debate, was he really samurai, yes or no, but really, you're gonna make an entire game in Japan from the Black Samurai? Like, really? You know, there's a lot of memes out there where one of the, it doesn't matter, one of the Japanese generals are being killed and they are searching for the killer. Who stands out in the crowd? And you see all these Japanese people and there's one Black Samurai. Let's be really honest. Everybody is going to point to that guy and say he did it, because he sticks out. But of course not. It's diverse, it's woke, you know, it's basically blackwashing everything. They are going to fix it. Nobody, they're gonna look around the thousands of Japanese people and see one Black Samurai and think, nah, he's a samurai, he didn't do it. It's just, it doesn't make sense. Why not make a Assassin's Creed game in Africa and then have a black character? Nobody would care. Nobody would care. And I don't care. Because you know what the thing is? I actually want, even now, I still want to play Assassin's Creed, the whatever it's called, Shadows, Japanese, whatever. I don't care that he's black. I don't. I really don't. It's not, it's weird, but alright. You know, in Neo, the original one, you also play as an Englishman. That was weird too, right? You play as an Englishman being a samurai in Japan. But at least in that game, the guy, William, if I remember correctly, he has history with Japan, and in the game itself, he was always being spoken to as the foreign guy, right? As the foreigner. So he was, you know, a Japanese soldier, but in Neo, they didn't talk to him like, oh, you're a samurai. No, they were always like the white guy, or, you know, I'm not entirely sure what they said, but they talked to him as he was a foreigner, as it probably happened back then. Exactly. I don't mind if it's a black character, yellow character, green. It doesn't matter. It's just, you know why they have done this. In Assassin's Creed Origin, why did they not use an Asian character? Why did they use an Egyptian character? Because back then, nobody fucking cared. Nobody cared, and they just wanted to make a good game. But the biggest issue I have with the new Assassin's Creed game is it's going to be online, internet required to play the game. And I hate that so much. So I will probably wait until the game is on sale for $10 or $8, you know, after the PS6 has launched. But I am definitely not going to support a game that not only is, you know, trying to be a political statement, but also you need to have internet for a single player game. It sucks. It is stupid. Where is the damn... where is the elevator? Oh yeah, I've actually heard a lot of good things about Black Flag. I have never played that game, and I kind of should, I think. Yeah. No, I really hate a lot of people nowadays, and especially the political statements, because at the end of the day, it is just a really small part of the player base, and it doesn't matter. You know, it's a people who really identifies themselves as being trans is really, really small, and yet they have been giving the main stage of like, hey, this is the new Western society. Isn't there a high American general or admiral that is like a transgender? And I'm like what? And then of course you have Joe Biden, who basically has Alzheimer. He's an idiot, being, you know, the most powerful guy in the world. And people are wondering, well, why are all these things happening in the world? You know, why is Russia, you know, attacking Ukraine and stuff? Yeah, duh. That's a good thing, by the way. I hate war. I don't understand why we are killing ourselves, but, you know, I can change it. Now, that is exactly what I have been doing for many years. Even though I have to say one thing though. Diablo 3, I'm a huge fan of Diablo, right? Diablo 1 and 2 are maybe my most played games of all time. Even though I am wondering, maybe Minecraft I've already played more, but I don't know. So I was extremely excited when Diablo 3 came out. I got to the midnight lunch. I got a week off from work to play the game, right? And not only was I very disappointed at how MMO-ish the game was, with all the DPS stats and, you know, huge amount of DPS and stuff. I'm like, okay, and every time you attack an enemy, you see a huge amount of DPS stats on the enemy. I'm like, what? And then you have exactly buying weapons with real money and selling weapons that you earn in game with real money. And we're not talking about a cent, we're talking about, my brother actually played Diablo 3 like hundreds of hours, and in all that time he got one item that he sold for 60 bucks. 60 euros for one fucking item. And at least to me, that broke the game. I remember playing the game a little bit. I remember beating the game and playing it a little bit, you know, after that. But I never really grinded. I never really did what my brother did and played for hundreds of hours. On top of that, there were no characters that I liked. I did not like the barbarian. I played the monk because I was like, okay, that's the only character that looks nice, I guess. I didn't like the sorcerer. I didn't like the girl with the crossbows. I didn't like a single character in the game. So I just have to play the game with the characters that they had, right? And I have no idea where I have to go, by the way. Up until they basically changed the whole system, they got rid of the auction house, they released what's called Reapers of Souls on the PS4, because I played Diablo 3 mostly on PS4. I platinumed that game. And they had the Paladin, and I was like, yes. Finally. The Paladin looked awesome. It still looks awesome. He had this, I love bulky characters. Like in Dark Souls, Elden Ring, I find the biggest armor, the tower shields, everything bulky and big. In terms of robots, Gundams, mecha, bulky and big, armored core, Gundams, they're cool, right? I'm not really into... I love Evangelion, but I'm not super into that sort of really sleek design of being a mecha, right? So finally, with Reapers of Souls, I do consider that they have redeemed themselves. They completely changed up the way that you earn your gear. They added a huge amount of extra gear. They got rid of the auction house. They finally added a character I personally wanted to play. So I platinumed the game. And Diablo 4, I haven't played it yet. The only thing that I see in my mind is you need to be online to play the game. And it's sort of an MMO, like it's a hybrid. Because a friend of mine, he played Diablo 4 and he basically says, you walk around the world and then you see other people, in the same worlds. I'm like, okay. I just want a Diablo 1, but bigger, right? I want Diablo 1 going into dungeons and stuff, but just bigger, more dungeons. And I still don't know where the hell I have to go. I also played, not with my girlfriend, but I had a friend back then, and she basically came every Friday to play video games. So we played a few months of Diablo 3. I think the last Blizzard game I played was StarCraft 2. That was pretty good. If they just, floor 2 reception, but where? Where? I'm just going everywhere. Oh, that's here? Okay. I actually lost my Ifrit card yesterday. Boo. Well, I think the only way is going up, but I was already there. Oh yeah, there are rumors, right, that Sony is making a new handheld, but I don't know, man. I don't know. Maybe if Sony made something like the Switch, right, where it's basically a sort of portable PS5, sort of. I mean, but how much is going to... Even Nintendo knows that the handheld market is gone. It's over. It's dead, right? Even Nintendo knows that the days of the Nintendo DS and Game Boy and they're gone. It's almost impossible. That's why they made the Switch. And the Switch is now on its way to become the best-selling gaming system of all time, right? Why the hell would Sony, who in no means whatsoever has the selling power of Nintendo, why would they make another highly advanced handheld only. Why? Why? I don't see it doing anything good. I know that their portal, is it something like that? Isn't like a streaming handheld, is selling okay. I don't see that system selling 50 million units. I think it's selling well for the system that it is. But I don't see. Oh, finally. I would be shocked if Sony would announce, hey, we're making a new absolutely dedicated handheld with, it's gonna cost $400 or $500 with memory cards for memory inside and games for $40, $50. I don't see it. But maybe if they're going to go the Switch way of saying, hey, we have a PlayStation 5 portable. It doesn't have 4K, it has 1080p screen, but you can play all your games on this system, kind of like Steam Deck. And you can buy a dock, or the dock is included with the bundle, that if you put in your PlayStation 5 portable, it will basically be as strong as PS5. I can see that happening. I don't see it being very popular. The Switch, number one, the Switch is 7 years old. Let's be honest, it's fucking old, right? Nintendo has stopped making super good looking games, but I have to admit this. I love Xenoblade Chronicles 1 and 2 at least. I love Mario Odyssey. Nintendo makes a lot of good games. Zelda is an incredible good game, and even though I still need to play more of Tears of the Kingdom, that game is so much fun to play with. The interaction with this open world is so good that yes, I like that game better than Horizon Forbidden West, because you have incredible graphics, but you can't do anything with it. You have this beautiful city in Horizon Forbidden West, but you cannot do anything with it. Nothing. You have a beautiful world that you can explore, but you cannot do anything in it. And with Tears of the Kingdom, at least, you can build stuff. That's pretty cool. You can build little airplanes. You can build little, rafts and stuff. It's pretty cool. I think that 50% of the time that I spend at the moment with Zelda Tears of the Kingdom is like building stuff. And they made exploring the world relevant. You actually earn and get rewards that will help you, and that will, like, a special sword or a special building material. Yes, I'm Dutch. What's up, Badra Zico? Or a special building material. Where in Horizon, the only thing you can literally do in the world is say, "Wow, it looks good." But at least to me, that's my personal opinion, and it's something I'm actually super proud on, is I can adapt myself super quickly in graphics. I can play a Super Nintendo game and in a half an hour or so say, man, this looks pretty good. And then I can play Horizon Forbidden West and say, man, the game looks incredibly good. But in a half an hour, that graphics, that wow is over, it's gone. And then it's all about the gameplay. And I'm not saying that Horizon has a bad gameplay, because I do think they improved upon a lot of issues I had with Horizon Zero Dawn. It's still the same game. It's still, you're doing the same stuff. and it gets boring. What's up, Badra Zico? Final Fantasy VII is by far the best game, and not the remake. Play the original game. You can buy it on PS4, PS5, you know, Xbox One, it doesn't matter, Switch. Play Final Fantasy VII, play the original one first, and then you can play Final Fantasy VII Remake, and you may or may not like it better. Final Fantasy VIII, this one is also very good. Final Fantasy IX is good. 10 is excellent. Final Fantasy XII is great. Don't play 15. 16 is, you know, it's a nice medieval story. Yeah, so I did play Final Fantasy 1 on the PSP. Right? So I wanted to at least know what was the beginning of Final Fantasy. And I liked it, but I will say I played Final Fantasy 1 with a guide, because I am no way I am going to find what I had to do in that world. I also played Final Fantasy 4 was with the Dark Knight, right? And eventually he gets to be the Paladin. I was pretty far in that game, but I couldn't beat it. I don't know why, I just stopped playing. Final Fantasy 4 is also a really good one, but it's nowhere near as good as Final Fantasy VII, in my opinion. And I grew up with PlayStation 1. Super Nintendo I only got for like a year, and especially when you're a kid, you always want to play the newest stuff, right? So I never really got into the Super Nintendo because I only had it for a year, and then my dad bought the PlayStation 1 with Tomb Raider, and it was game over. You know, I basically never played anything else besides PlayStation. And even though I love Super Nintendo games, I played a lot. I'm actually playing Shining Soul on the Game Boy Advance emulation on my Super Nintendo Mini. I beat that game, great game. I'm now playing Shining Souls 2, also a great game. I still need to beat Lufia 2. I was playing, not Chrono Trigger, it's another game, I can't remember which one. So I do really like RPGs on the Super Nintendo. But Chrono Trigger is basically the almighty god in terms of Super Nintendo RPGs. I have never played an RPG like Chrono Trigger, and to me every game I play on Super Nintendo is inferior in almost every sense compared to Chrono Trigger. So I have played, for example, Final Fantasy VI, and I really liked it. I really like the storyline. It's a big storyline. I have seen a retrospective of Final Fantasy VI of what actually happened, so I kind of know, like, hey, the bad guy actually wins, and this and that. And I think storyline wise it's a really cool game. But to me, like, the RPGs I really like, that I can really get into, are the PlayStation 1 and PS2. You know, even though I really liked, for example, Lufia 2, I really liked the game, it doesn't have the charm of Chrono Trigger. Chrono Trigger was way ahead of its time. How can you get bored with Chrono Trigger? The game was so good. So fucking good. So good. And did you know that Chrono Trigger is one of the first games ever to have a New Game Plus? So I actually, and I found this out a couple of weeks ago. So I actually want to one day replay Chrono Trigger, but then with the New Game Plus, that I get all my stuff and that would be cool. Final Fantasy IX, you know, is really good. Really good. I love the card system, the card battle system. I also really loved in Final Fantasy IX that you had to equip your gear and then you had to learn the skill, and then when you master the skill will always be there. I loved that. I really don't know why not every RPG has a battle system like Chrono Trigger or Final Fantasy VII with materia, or has a skill-based system like Final Fantasy IX. I loved it. But then again, the stat system with Final Fantasy XII is also pretty good. And the sphere grid in Final Fantasy X was really good, but even as a kid, I absolutely hated that basically every character could be everything. You know? Like, you could make Lulu the strongest hand-to-hand character in the game. You could make Auron the best black mage in the game. You know, you had to put in a lot of work, but you could do it. I hated that. I hated that now, and I hated that being a kid. But I absolutely love Final Fantasy X. And it's, to me, like Final Fantasy VII is up there as being the best. Maybe because it was my first RPG ever, or maybe I just really love the music and the characters. I am also, I think that Midgar City is the best, how you say it, visually looking, best looking city ever. Like, how fucking cool is it? A city on top of pillars. It is so fucking cool. You know, the whole steampunk-ish world, I loved it. I fucking loved it. But to say that Final Fantasy VII is miles better than 9, that's not true. To say Final Fantasy VII is miles ahead of Final Fantasy X, that's not true. Even 8 is in my top 10 best games of all time, and if you know me, you know I've played hundreds of games. And especially this last years, where, you know, I have thrown away my being a Sony fanboy and playing on other consoles, I still think, you know, playing even more games. And I still think that even Final Fantasy VIII, you know, is way better than 80% of RPGs. Especially nowadays. Especially nowadays. Yes, I really like, so I do really like the Final Fantasy VII Remake style of upgrading your weapons. And it is really cool in Rebirth that you have materia and stuff. I really liked that. I did. I just don't really like the combat. It's number one. And I think that especially the boss fights, they are too long. And I hated that in Final Fantasy XVI. These bosses were so long. They were such massive HP sponges. Some of these bosses lasted for like 6 or 8 minutes. It just kept going and going and going. One of the bosses in Final Fantasy XVI is with the sort of the rock Idilian summoning, you know, the big giant titan, and it went on forever. It went on forever. And I was like, this is boring. This is just really fucking boring. And yes, it looks really cinematic and the music was great and it looks really flashing, but it's boring. And I kind of have the same feel with Final Fantasy VII Remake and Rebirth, that these bosses, they go on for too long. And with games like the older Final Fantasy games, older RPGs, not everyone, but most of the standard traditional older RPGs, the boss battle may take like 3 minutes, 4 minutes, right? The end boss maybe a little bit longer, and that's it. So imagine Final Fantasy VII Remake, bad pacing, right? And then with Final Fantasy Rebirth, add in Assassin's Creed style open world with towers you have to climb 20 times, boring side missions, gathering the whole time, fast travel from point A to point B. There are life springs, right? I don't want to spoil too much, but basically every area you go to in Final Fantasy Rebirth is go find your towers, go climb them, then all the spots on your map, go clear them, and then you got everything. The really boring Assassin's Creed style, where just, I'm not gonna say that I know a better way to make an open world game interesting. I don't. But The Witcher 3, it felt natural. You know what I mean? In The Witcher 3, you walk around and you see a tower, and I'm not saying a satellite tower that you have in Final Fantasy, because that's what it is, satellite towers. No, you just see a ruin, right? You see a ruin, and you were like, hey, let's go check out this ruin, and you go up top the ruin, and bam, it's a site where you can look around, and then you unlock stuff. That was pretty cool. With The Witcher 3, the world felt alive, it felt lived in, it felt realistic. When you do a quest, you have to do research, sort of. You have to do this and you have to do that, and there's a whole conversation between you and the characters. It felt like if you would live in this world, that is how it would go. And it doesn't, that's not how it is in Assassin's Creed or Final Fantasy Rebirth. You know, I like Horizon Forbidden West. Its world is incredible. You know what I really like about Horizon? The whole, you know, man versus machine, and there's a lot of lore. They talk about like the last battle and the last stand, and you know, there was a battle here and there was a battle there, and eventually you come across that battle, right? And I absolutely loved that you see fortresses. You know, you see that there's a battle. There was a battle there. You see, you know, machines that are broken down trying to climb the fortress. You see tanks trying to shoot down, but they're destroyed. You see hundreds of tanks, you know, all broken, destroyed, and old and rusty. You see there is a history in that area. I love that about Horizon Forbidden West and Horizon Zero Dawn. You see that there was a struggle, there was a massive battle, there was something going on. The point that I hate about it, about all these open world games, is you cannot interact with the world, right? And I understand it's very difficult, but I always give this sort of example. With Assassin's Creed Odyssey, you have this beautiful world with huge amount of towns. You have a freaking ship. Yes, a ship. And you have a war. Now, what could they have done? They could have done that there's a war going on, and on the map you see Athens and Sparta, right? Wouldn't it be cool that you actually have an impact in the world? So if you just say, you know what? I don't want to play the storyline missions. I just want to fight in the wars. And you fight in the wars, and slowly but surely you win the war. And the entire map is for Sparta or for Athens. And I don't know, things change, right? Spartans rule, and you'll see, I don't know, the Athens people being oppressed. You see the city of Athens in ruins because you won the war for Sparta, right? And don't tell me, oh, that's impossible, they cannot do this. They could. They definitely could. That would be cool. That is interaction with the world. You have a fucking ship. Wouldn't it be cool that you as a mercenary could be, how do you say it? Oh my god. That you could fight for one of the sides and have sort of tactical battles between Sparta and Athens. And then, for example, you have done so many battles that Sparta, for example, rules the seas, and then all the sort of, how would you say it, all these trading ports, they'll be in decline, right? Because they cannot trade anymore. And slowly but surely, Athens is running out of money, running out of soldiers, and they're losing, and you see them on the map sort of retreating. And then if you would walk around, you would see legions of soldiers retreating because they're losing the war, right? And then, for example, if you switch sides, you could fight back. That's all stuff they could have done in the game that would make the game more interactive. They could have made you spend money and time buying different ships. You begin with a small ship, and then you eventually have this battleship, sort of, or you can have a trading ship. You can trade between towns, right? I think in Valhalla they have an option where you can build a town, something like that. They could have done it in Odyssey. That would have been so cool if you could build a couple of towns and you could make up trades. Because eventually, at the end of the game, you need so much materials, you need so much money to upgrade your gear. They could easily have made a system where you can trade between towns, and have wars. But what did we get? Okay, you can go into the seas and you can plunder and you can destroy. That's pretty cool for like an hour, and then it gets boring. Sure, you can go into battle. Number one, they always look the same. They play the same. They look the same. It's boring after a few times. And secondly, it doesn't matter how many battles you win for a particular group, you can never make a side win. Never. the system is always randomizing, like, okay, you won, but this one lost. You won this, but this one lost. Even if you would play for a year only the battles, you would never win. So is that interaction? Does that make you feel that you are doing something in this virtual world? Nope. You are basically just doing missions. You're just doing levels over and over and over again, and it will never change. Nothing will change. The only change that you can make is play the scripted storyline. And I don't like that. So after playing Origins and Odyssey, I still need to play Valhalla, but I know it's going to be the same stuff over and over again, but with a different, skin back. Now, I have heard that there are sort of battles in Valhalla where you can siege towns and stuff, and that would be really cool. But is it going to be like Mountain Blade, where you can actually have battles and where you can actually, if you're really good, take over the entire world? Nah. It's going to be scripted, it's going to be fun for 1 or 2 times, and then it's going to be boring. And even with Mountain Blade Bannerlord, eventually all these massive battles, they get boring. But it's still cool to sort of change it up, right? To change up and say, hey, I am going all crossbows and see if I can beat this army with only crossbows. I actually have no idea what I have to do in the game. Oh damn, it's almost 4 o'clock. Wait up. Wait up. Wait up. I have to check out something. Oh. That's weird. Wait up a second.
Classic. En nee, wij komen zo meteen bij jou toe, ja?
Ja, nee, prima.
We gaan lekker op het terrasje zitten. Dan gaan we lekker roddelen.
Roddelen? Toch niet over mij?
Ja.
Toch niet over deze coole gast?
We gaan roddelen over je.
Oh, nee, dat mag helemaal niet over Piggy.
Nee, dat mag.
Nee. Johannes 4 vers 5, ga je zo niet roddelen?
Hij weet er alles van. Ja. Bij allebei troost.
Oké. Nee, prima toch? Het regime gaat zo open, dus... Ja, dan zie ik je zo. Ga ik weer verder met mijn spelletje.
Wil je wat eten of zo? Moet ik wat voor jou meenemen?
Nee, het is bijna 4 uur. Het regime gaat daar toch open?
Ah, oké.
Nee, ik hoef niks te eten. Eten zo wel. Lekkere ramen.
Ja, is hij zo'n vrijdag voordat we naar huis komen?
Oh ja.
Heb je huishouden ook gedaan? Heb je gestopt?
Ja, ik heb ook alles geboomd en zo. Dat allemaal glimt.
Ja?
Ja.
En heb je al de rode loper al klaargezet? Zodat je dat kan eten.
Niet overdrijven. Nou overdrijf je
Waarom
weer.
niet?
Nou overdrijf je weer.
Ik identificeer mijzelf als Hare Majesteit.
Ja, Hare Majesteit. Ik interesseer mijn eigen als het kan maar niks schelen. Nou, dan zie ik je zo alweer, ja? Later! Ja, goed. I am back! Okay, where do I have to go? Right up those stairs. Ah, by front gate. Where you'll, I think you get Irvin. That's his name, right? Yeah, I think it's Irvin. Yo, squall. You better come here because... So that's fast. Damn. It's like, plop. What are you doing here for? He's lying. Cypher! Yep, he isn't dead. He's like the Sephiroth of this game, sort of. Let's go, fool. Ah, no, remember. I think you're going to a specific Galbadia town, and you have to sort of kill Idea, and of course it goes haywire. Because she's far too powerful. Irvin. Ja, zie je, Irvine. Irvin. Irvin. Whatever, it doesn't matter. Irvin to me. Cowboy. Sup, fool. Whoops. Ah ja, Delling City. Wasn't the general her father? I think it was. Oh, definitely not you. Oh yeah, fine. Yeah, whatever. Yes, I know that already. Ah, I didn't know that though. Ah, no! 1 second. I'm already in a battle. Why can't I do anything? Won't it be funny if I die now? Boom! Okay, let's use a tent. And I'm going to save, and I have to do some household chores. And maybe I'll be back. Oh, almost 10 hours. In the evening. Where am I in the game? Ah, yes. Timba. Belep Garden. Ah, yeah, okay. Well, thank you for watching, and see you next time.